Okay, I guess we're on.
We're on.
Hello and welcome to Fresh Perspectives. My name is Gail, and my guest today is that really interesting person I had on a few years ago that brought in a ton of stones and gemstones and things to show us. And her name is Sara Szatkowski. And she is here today to talk about your house.
Oh, yeah, well, crafts, like things that I make out of nature, basically. And a lot of stuff is in my house as decoration. Other things that I do besides rocks that are hanging in my house, but I wasn't able to bring some of them, so I have pictures of them because they're big, they're massive, and they're hard to get down, especially my ceiling lamp.
Yeah, Sara bought a house a year or so ago, and it needed a lot of work, so she wound up figuring out how to renovate it herself.
Yep.
That must have taken a lot of courage.
Oh, it was just a lot of patience, a lot of teaching myself, and a lot of mistakes, because I don't really plan things out, and if I don't know what I'm doing, you just gotta try it. If it doesn't work, try again. You know.
There's an old saying: if at first you don't succeed, try again.
Yep, I don't quit. So I am not a quitter. So
okay.
Anyway, so I just brought some different things that I make for my business that I, besides jewelry that are rocks. Everything that I make, I like to find in nature. So it's somehow found, and I also repurpose a lot of things. So it might have been like there's something from train tracks that I had welded together because I don't have a welder, but I know how to weld. I went to welding school. Things that I've made with like wood or like an old shovel I have different things that I find in nature, and then I might paint or create something out of them. So it's kind of fun because it's more if you garbage pick it or if it's like, you know, salvaged or you find it like metal or anything. I mean, you find garbage like that other people think are garbage, and they throw out the window, and then I pick it up and I make something out of it.
Yeah, there are a lot of people that go around scavenging, like in a village where they have what they call spring cleanup, where everybody can put out
Big garbage day
stuff that they want to get rid of.
Yeah.
There's a certain kind of people who go around going through all that stuff.
That's me.
to find things they can use.
Yep, that's me. I have a lot of my furniture is like refinished, and I'm done. I like working with wood too, so I do the rocks, I do the wood. I have more tools than most guys. To be honest.
Do you ever reupholster furniture?
No, I've not done that. But I don't sit very much, so I don't really need sitting furniture. I have a couch and it doesn't get used. I have a TV and it doesn't get turned on. I honestly don't even know if it's working or plugged in. It's for decoration, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I don't watch the news or I don't go on my phone, social medias or anything like that. I just stay in my bubble. I like to create, and then I've been working on the house also. So
that takes up all your time.
It's very. Plus, I breed dogs, so I have.
Oh, would you like to tell the viewing audience what kind of dogs you?
Miniature dachshunds.
Miniature dachshunds.
My little wiener dogs. I have 3. I'm thinking about going to 4. I'm retiring my oldest, and my youngest, Luna, she started breeding at 2, and my oldest is getting retired and neutered at 7, and then I let them have like 5 litters, and then I'll get another one. So I've never had 4 before, because 3 is a lot of work. They're very spoiled, so.
Yeah, I can imagine they probably are.
You have no idea. So I call it, they have to earn their keep because their bones are very expensive and they like to destroy every squeak toy instantly. So I have to buy a new one because they rip out the squeak. So if it doesn't squeak anymore, they don't really care.
Don't play with it.
So I'm always buying them stuff, but they're so spoiled that they like their bones held when they chew. So, and since I have 3, I have to hold a bone with my feet.
Oh, really? Okay, so somebody else has to hold it for
No,
you.
I hold two. Yeah. No, I don't. They don't have to. They can chew by themselves. They just prefer not to.
Oh, okay.
They like to drop the bones at my feet and stare at me all day and make me feel guilty for not sitting and chewing with them. But they chew for like an hour, and I don't have an hour to sit and chew 5 times a day. You know what I mean? So we do it maybe in the morning and always at night before bed.
Okay, we've got a bunch of things to do while you're here
Yes,
today,
I'm gonna show some
and let me know when you want to move along to the pictures.
Okay.
And in the meantime, if you want to talk about some of the other things you brought first, that'll be okay.
Yeah, if you want to zoom in on some of these like turtles, these are rocks. They're called turtle rocks. This is my favorite thing. Like when I was here last time, we talked about concretions. They're little tiny turtles, and they're an interesting rock because they're perfectly round and they actually look like little turtles. Sometimes they have like a little tail or a head, and they are perfectly round and smooth. Inside there's like something I call a nucleus, and all over the world, like China has concretions, but they have pyrite circles on them. There's miniature pyrite ones by us out in Alden where I am.
Pyrite?
Yeah,
pyrite?
they have pyrite on them, and they have little ammonites inside them. If you go on like Facebook, I've seen like people have sent me or showed me like people are like, oh, have you seen this? You know, like they show me like a reel, and there's people cracking these open, and inside are big ammonites. So inside ours, there's calcite, iron. It's like red and like crystally stuff. In some of them, there's different kinds. There's the perfectly smooth kinds, and then there's lumpy kinds that actually look like tortoise shells. And if you walk along a creek bed, there's like these round things that are protruding out of the slate, and that's these.
Oh, okay.
So
you've painted them.
yeah, I've turned them into tiny turtles. They're adorable. I also will take rocks that I find or fossils, and I make magnets out of them. I just like epoxy them on. I also do car vent clips, like little things. Just I like to take nature and use it as my base for like whatever I'm making. So shells I'll wire wrap, or I drill holes in. I might make hair clips with tumbled stones. I have lots of little tiny turtles. Those took me forever to do. There's more wire wrapping of sea glass that I'll find. And then I'll make necklaces because I have so much equipment. I'll show you guys some pictures later, but I have a lot of equipment so I can polish rocks. I have a vibratory tumbler. I have 5 other tumblers, and I have a picture of that one. And then I have all kind of different saws. I got table saws, trim saws, chop saws. I got lots of saws. I have diamond blades for everything, so I can cut into rock, wood, and then I have steel blades, so I can cut into steel if I want to cut like corrugated metal or rebar or anything like that. So I make a lot of different things. And then I even make like roach clips now because it's so legal, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah.
this wire is cool because, I mean, I don't know if this was allowed, but I clipped it from an old like line, like power line, and it's cool because it's old copper. It was really hard to bend, but it's really thick. And I found an old power line like somewhere, and I clipped a piece so I could make stuff out of it. But it's really neat because it's like tarnished, you know, and it's hard. It takes a long time for copper to tarnish. So these are decorative roach clips, but I make different things out of them. I have a business called Rock and Hemp, and that's the jewelry line, but I'm thinking about also like expanding it to like maybe like repurpose nature, or something like that. But every name I seem to come up with, it seems to be taken. You know what I mean?
Right.
I make things like pine cones. Like I cut the pine cone. If you see like the top of the pine cone, you could do this at home. Also, you could cut the pine cone. Pine cones are harder to cut than I thought. You get those shish kebab skewers.
Oh.
And then I just paint them and I make flowers. You can make your own bouquet at home. And I drill a hole into the back of the pine cone and I put the stick in, and I just wood glue it. Wood glue works great. I like epoxy too. 5-minute epoxy works great. So I dry flowers. If anybody ever gives me flowers, I hang them upside down instantly to kill them. And then I like dried flowers. So I like to use birch wood. It's not, I don't like killing the trees, so I'll look for bark that's fallen off the trees, because if you took the bark from a tree, it's like girdling it, and it would kill the tree because the tree drinks through their bark. So that's not how I do things. I find it laying, like other people might have peeled it, but not me. So this is just a lamp that I made with birch wood, birch bark, and a vase with birch bark. Because birch bark's beautiful. It's really neat.
Well, you know, it's funny that you happen to be talking about things that you've made with birch bark, because I just am now in the process of reading one of the books that Henry David Thoreau wrote back in the 1800s. Have you ever heard of him?
I've heard of him, yes.
He wrote Walden. It was about a pond where he lived for a year. And, but anyway, the one I'm reading now is one that he wrote called The Maine Woods. And he's talking about these excursions he went on in the state of Maine in, you know, like forestry. And he would usually go with at least one other person, and they'd usually they'd usually invite a Native American to go with them. And I'm finding out that Native Americans, a certain amount of Native Americans would actually make canoes out of birch bark.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I wonder why. I wonder if it's more waterproof or protects it, doesn't rot.
I don't know. And then they stitch the seams together with a certain kind of tree roots.
Yeah.
So
really,
I found that
That's
really interesting.
I would think vines are really stringy.
So it's worth reading the book just to find out what people made for themselves to use.
Yeah,
you know?
I love looking for arrowheads. It's like an obsession.
Yeah, he said that Thoreau said that he found lots of arrowheads on his excursions.
I think I find game arrowheads, like small ones. And then I've asked some people, they're like, of course they make game arrowheads. And then like Gojo says, I don't think so. So I don't know. I get mixed reviews on the game arrowhead thing, but I think I found like a nice little game arrowhead once. And I feel like even Indians, like Native Americans, they had different styles, like how they made them.
Oh, yeah.
That's my like idea, because I feel like some have like a line down the middle, and some might have two lines splitting down the middle. Like there's different ways that I think they made them. I think everybody is an individual, so I wondered if they would make their own kinds, like with an own style, you know, because I think I found like different ones that they just don't look the same, and they're from the same area. You know what I mean? Like the New York area.
Well, I was mentioning this to my husband about the birch bark canoes, and he said, oh yeah, sometimes they would take a log and hollow it out just to use for a canoe.
Really?
Yeah.
And it would be buoyant? That's cool.
Yeah, I never heard of that kind of stuff before.
I would think they'd be heavy.
You would think so. You would think they'd sink.
Because I have wood. I have like logs that are rotten, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna epoxy them and make like flower pots because I want them to stop rotting. You know what I mean? Like, because if you put dirt inside a log, and you water a plant in it, it's gonna rot.
Yeah.
So I use food safe. I would bring these things, but they're massive. They're big. You know what I mean? And use food safe, because I don't know if some of the chemicals in epoxy would be bad for a plant. And then just drill a drainage hole and you pour the epoxy to protect the walls, you know. So I have one of those at home. But I also have this. I don't know if this is, it's birch also. But this is something I made craft shows. It's actually to hold a stand. Can I see the corrugated metal?
The what? The what?
The
Oh,
corrugated
the metal, yeah.
It's kind of cool. It was hard to do, to drill through 3 to put this bar.
But Sara made this too.
Yeah, I make a lot of things. I make all my own displays. So when the wind comes, the wind and the weather comes, mine are very heavy. So it holds it like this, and I just notch the wood, but I epoxied the wood so it would preserve it. And you could put pictures in it, like I could use it for other things. One other thing that I made for my stands that also is similar to this, and it holds it, but it holds a wood one. I love corrugated metal. I have corrugated metal in my house, and I put a corrugated metal wall. I wanted patina stuff, that's rusted and old, but there was nothing in the area, so I just bought some.
You know what?
It turned out good.
I just realized something. They put the timer
Oh, that's good.
behind me.
Oh, I'll watch it. Oh, because we switched seats. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
that's it. Yeah,
that's
that's
my
it.
fault.
It was her idea.
It was my idea.
So, okay.
Okay, and this is the other stand. Okay, so this is cool. I found this stuff. I don't know if anybody recognizes what it is. I don't know if it's allowed what I did. I don't know if saying it on TV is going to get me in trouble, but I found this stuff on the train tracks. Like, it's just metal, and I could weld.
It was something that was laying loose?
Yeah, they're just like all over, like on the side of the train tracks. I don't really know what they come from because there's weird shapes. Like, what is this thing? Like, I have no idea what that's used for. And then like a giant bolt, like a square bolt, and then the 2 nails. And then this is also these 2 J's. I don't know what they're for. And then another weird shape, if you can see this one. I don't know what they would be used for on train tracks or if they fell off a train or what. But they're heavy. They're really heavy. I don't know. Do you want to try and lift it up?
Yes, it is very it is very heavy. It certainly is.
But I had one of my buddies tack it together. I would have done it if I had a welder, but I didn't have a welder, so it was just easier for him to weld it because he took it to a place that he worked and welded it for me because welders are kind of expensive. And I liked stick welding better. Like, I was good at stick. Not that I make it flux core and all that. It's pretty easy, but anyways, long story long, I use that as a display too because you could also put pictures or use it as a holder. But but yeah, you can put this in here and it'll sit. And then when the wind comes blowing and everybody's stuff goes crashing down at craft shows, my stuff stays nice and put. Because it's so heavy.
I've been at craft shows when the wind picked up and people who had glass items that they'd made to sell would get all smashed up.
Yeah,
would get all broken. Yeah.
That's why I like making my own displays because you can't buy anything of quality like this.
No.
I thought about like making displays, doing like being like a crafter for the crafters. If that makes any sense.
A crafter for the crafters.
You know
for
what I mean?
people who normally make crafts.
Yeah, that might need a specific display created, you know what I mean?
Right.
Or might want something funky, or for stores. I'd like maybe doing a website because like that would be like a unique, specialized, like I could make just like one for them, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I have so many ideas. Like I find something and I'm like, oh, I don't want this sitting around the house. Like, I'm going to make something with it. And it just, like, I think of something. Like, it just comes to me. I don't like, if I get something, I like to use it. And if I don't use it, it gets put aside and forgotten about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I like to use stuff right away if I can.
Oh, sure.
I make different things like, I have the hanging flower pots, but I have I do dipping. This isn't really like nature-ish, other than I will, I like to make my own succulents kind of, you know what I mean? By the leaves fall, like, I'm bad because like if I go in a store and there's a leaf laying like along the pots, I like grab it
Oh.
It's not good. It's kind of like,
Well, if it's already fallen off.
I feel like it's stealing.
If it's already falling off.
Oh no, I never rip them off the plants. That would be damaging
Right.
the plant. No, but like if it's sitting outside the pot and like
Right.
you know where the pots sit.
Yeah.
And I'll always make sure I buy a plant too. Like I don't just take a leaf. I buy plants.
Oh,
So
okay.
I feel like I'm giving the store some of my money.
Oh, okay.
But I'll take a leaf and then I propagate them. I dip them in rooting powder and I let them grow. So I grow most of my succulents. I buy one and then I'll grow a bunch of leaves. You know what I mean? Like, but I dip. This is kind of fun to do. I don't know if you can see the swirls, but like if you put spray paint in water, it makes swirls.
Oh.
And it makes patterns and it's really cool. And then you can dip it and it will do like a tie-dye look. So it's really neat. I've gotten better at it. This was like one of my first attempts, but you can kind of see like the lines like of the different color spray paints. So I don't know, it's nature and like I just use whatever spray paint I have left over from whatever task. You can draw on, this is an incense holder. I made it a long time ago, like when I was young, so it's been damaged.
Okay, that's part of a piece of fungus, is it?
Yeah, you could draw on, if you get them when they're like still fresh, the wood fungus, and you can draw on it, and you can shade, if you can see how I shaded. But I just drew this is old, like super old. I've had this for like probably over 30 years.
Wow.
I made it a long time ago. So I just put a little drawing on it, and then I use it for incense. So I put an incense stick in there, but it got broken through the years because I've moved so much. This is with repurposed copper. Like the repurposed copper, like I strip wire, you know, and I will use the wire inside of it. But these are for curtains. I use these, I don't know, I come up with an idea and I thought they were really pretty. But you can tie your curtains together and it makes little bouquets on your curtains. I think they're cute.
Yeah, she means those kind of things that you put at your curtain to hold it to the side.
Yeah, like a curtain tie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, they just, you know, they're wires so you can form them, but it makes like a little bouquet so it's decorative. So like if you don't, like I have them on my curtain, my one front curtains like all the time because they just are lace, you know what I mean? They're just pretty and they have little bouquets on them. So they're kind of, I don't know, I come up with ideas and I think they're fun. So I make them and sell them.
Okay.
I use rocks, and I'll like use different kinds of rocks to make picture stands. This isn't really recycled, but I could wire wrap it. But you put a picture in here, so it stands up like so. But nobody does pictures anymore, so these are kind of been like
Oh yeah, everybody
phased out.
just takes pictures with their phones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So people don't, but you could use it for like little notes too, like I'll like put a grocery note or a recipe holder, you know what I mean? So there's different
Yeah.
things that you can use it for. I make a bunch of different things. I also have my shovel that I made that's repurposed. I feel like and then we'll go to the pictures maybe.
Okay.
So I made this as a display also. I have a rake also, but I couldn't find the rake. I just started moving into this house and I'm working on it. I just sold the place I was living at, so I was like working on that, mowing 2 lawns, weed whacking 2 places. It was really involved because I tore apart the other house. I had to do molding and laminate flooring. I'm good at laminate floorings. I'm sick of drywall and I'm sick of painting. I don't never want to paint like a wall ever again or a ceiling. It's not no patience for it. But anyway, so I used an old shovel that was broken and rusty. I took the rust off, of course, and I kind of ground it down to polish it up a little bit. And then I used a piece of wood that my friend, he was like milling wood and he gave me this wood, so I epoxied it and stuff so it would be preserved. So there's actually a plant stand that I'm fixing and stuff that's similar. It's hard to epoxy wood though, because it doesn't, it will fall off.
Oh.
So it'll lift and fall off eventually. So I'm worried that that'll happen to this too, because it happened to the plant stand.
Well,
I have this around it to hold the magnets on because it was my display. It's like tool.
right. Tell me, how do you get rust off of something?
Citric acid.
Citric acid?
Or I like rust remover better than citric acid. Citric acid, like, I have it, and I feel like it like turns it black. It doesn't make it like clean, shiny metal again. Whereas like just this pink goopy stuff at Value, that's rust remover, or you can grind it off. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because that was hard to get a whole bucket that would fill up to that point, like.
So you have to soak it for a while then.
Yeah, so either with that pink goop that comes in little containers like that would have been a lot of pink goop rust remover, and that would have been a whole bucket of citric acid. That's a lot. So I didn't have that much, so that's why I had to grind some down, because the whole shovel wouldn't submerge. And then it wouldn't stand upright when I cut the wood. You know what I mean? Like, it was hard to like let it soak like that. So it kept moving on me. I've used these for displays to hang my plants on, and I just drill in wood and use hemp, because I try to keep everything with like rocks, hemp, and natural stuff. But I used to hang my plants on this. I change my plants around like my hanging pots. I always have them on something different. It depends on how I'm set up at the show. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
What kind of show?
Yeah.
Like how much frontage, how much space we have between tents, and how much frontage area we have.
What is this? What are these?
Oh, they're just dried flowers. They're fake flowers.
Oh, they're fake.
Yeah, I have dried flowers and fake flowers, and then for my pine cones, because the pine cones alone weren't enough filling. Like
Yeah.
You know, because they're on sticks.
Right.
So I filled them in with. This fell over, so the flowers broke. When I was carrying it, it fell over. So.
Oh, I see.
Okay. I'm thinking about epoxying my dried flowers and dipping them, because I love them and they are just so fragile. You know what I mean? Like, and then when I play with my dogs, sometimes they play fetch, even though they're hounds. Hounds don't typically fetch. My dogs are weird. They're very playful, but they like to play fetch. And sometimes I'm doing something and I throw the ball and it goes not the way that I wanted it to, and it hits like my stuff. Anyways, there's some stuff that I do at home too. This is my last thing that I can show. This is kind of funny. In my head, I thought these were cute, but then when I see them, I don't know. Does it make sense to you? Do you get it?
Well,
what's it say to you?
It looks like somebody's advertising that they're a Bills fan.
It's a Bill sign saying Bills Rock.
Oh, I get it.
Is
okay.
that cheesy?
Bills Rock.
And I have like, in my head I was like, oh, I could make, because I did a Bills party that was supposed to have thousands of people at it, like a couple thousand people at it, and I worked it one year and I made like really good money in a few hours. So I need to come up with Bills ideas, and I don't watch TV, I don't watch sports, I'm not like a football person, so it's hard for me to think of things that it's hemp, rocks, nature, you know what I mean, that has Bills on it. So I did like 716, and then I put multiple rocks, but I don't know. It was a swing and a miss in my book.
Well,
And I don't know. In my head, it seemed like a good idea, and then once I put them together, and I was like, oh no, this is silly. This is really silly. I don't like it. But whatever, I made them. So I thought I'd just show something funny.
Some people might buy them.
I have no idea. The Bills party, only a couple, like I think there was only 200 people there, and I was told there'd be 2,000. Like, So,
So you made a huge amount of them, did you?
no, I just made a few because I realized they were ridiculous. I was like, no, in my head it seemed better. But yeah, I don't know. I make my own barn wood too. I will take steel wool and you can dissolve it in vinegar. So you let it sit for a few days and then it makes like a stain and it helps oxidize the wood to make it look aged. And it is very, very, if you try this, like, it stains everything. Like I got it on my concrete and it never came out. Like I was like, oh no, what? I didn't realize. You know what I mean? Like, but I will take to make my own barn wood. I beat it up. So like I'll take like MAP gas or something and put like chains on it, and then I'll burn it to get like different like shapes on it, or nails. I'll take a nail and lay it on the side and then hammer it in so you get like flat dents and like different kinds of dents at different angles. So you beat the heck out of it for a while, and then I would oxidize it with the steel wool vinegar combination. And then I forgot to take a picture of it, but I did barn wood in my bathroom on one wall, and it turned out beautiful. The colors are just amazing, but I epoxied the wood, so when guys pee, if it splashes, it makes it easier to clean.
Oh, okay.
You know, like, because it's epoxied now. It's not wood, and it won't absorb anything and smell in the future. So I tried to think ahead on that one. It turned out really nice, but so it has a smooth, hard surface that I can just wipe. So yeah, I make my own barn wood, but I'll buy wood, and then I'll make it into looking like it's old.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, a lot of people are using old wood for building materials.
I know. Yeah, but it's
know.
very expensive.
Is it?
Yeah, like people know, like right now I have some corrugated metal that's patinaed, and I when I was looking for it, like I'm saving some for future, like projects, but when I was looking for it, I would have had to drive like an hour and a half each way and pay like $60 or $80 for a piece.
Oh.
And like one piece of corrugated metal was like $20 at Home Depot, and I'm kind of cheap. So hence the fact that I like to use free materials I find on the ground in the woods to make stuff out of.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because I mean, craft stuff is expensive. It really is. Like you go to Hobby Lobby and you can really spend some money. So I try to avoid that place at all costs because it's like Candyland happy for me. I like love it there. It's like so much fun. Yeah.
Okay, we better move along to the pictures now.
Yeah. Why don't we? Okay. It's just showing equipment. One more thing. I have one more thing. It's big. And then we can go to the pictures. I'm just gonna.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, it's back there. Never mind. We'll skip it because it's too hard to get. I forgot that I'm tied in on a wire.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's just this big. It's from a steel plant, and it's a big arm, and it has this. It's an old light from one of the steel plants. I know an electrician, and he had these, and he salvaged them because they were getting thrown out. And he gave me one, and I'm gonna put a big piece of cedar on it that I've been sanding. I have another piece that I epoxied for like a cheese plate. It's like really pretty, and I oil it with like linseed oil or like usually linseed or tung oil, and it helps bring out the colors. And then I'll epoxy it, and that is gonna go on top of it. And then you put the arm. I'm gonna put it on the wall, and it will be like a side table. You know what I mean? A side table, a floating one.
A floating side table.
Because it'll be attached to the wall. It's pretty heavy, so I don't know if I'm gonna go with the floating idea, but that's what I want to do. But it'd be cool to like put some bigger items out at my craft shows, like that are like more decorative for the house. You know, like bigger sale items for people who are looking to spend more money or something. I don't know.
Something more interesting, maybe.
Different.
I
like keeping myself.
Okay,
so this is my Cab King. It's dirty right now. I'm not like totally set up perfectly everywhere. My basement has had a lot of problems, but I finally got a basement. So because I had this in my house, at my last house on top of rug, and it got the rug wet, and I put plastic over the rug thinking I was protecting the rug, but the water got under the plastic and just housed the moisture. And then I had black mold, and I was like, oh my God. So I had to rip the rug, and anyways.
Is that your shadow in the picture?
Yeah, probably, because the lighting's really bad down there. I need to put more lights, but since I'm moving, I have to sell it now. I don't know what else I'm going to do down there, because I should probably just start packing, and I'm not even done unpacking. It's sad. Okay, so that's my Cab King. It's a 6-stage grinder and polisher, and that's what I polish rocks on, and it has flat laps on the side. It also has a trim saw attachment that goes on the right side, and I don't know if I have a picture of that. I took a picture. I don't know if I included it because it's just in a plastic bin. This is my... Oh my gosh, I didn't know Ryobi was made by Milwaukee, but I love my I love my saws. This is what I cut things like wood on. You can do corner cuts, 45-degree angles and stuff. I did the house with all the molding. I had to buy one because I was borrowing one, and I really loved it. So I got myself one. I have more tools than most men. I have a lot of saws, so... That's my miter saw. I love my miter saw. That's my table saw. I love my table saw too. When I do drywall, I know it's not typical. See, I kind of just do. I don't follow normal rules. And I was refinishing around my window because the covers came in and they didn't put them up to the window. So I have this weird 6-inch gap around the window at my house, and I had to even it out. So I ripped off the molding that was there down to the frame, and I refinished the drywall. But it was really hard to get long, narrow pieces with a drywall knife. You know what I mean? I was cutting with a drywall knife, and my line wasn't the straightest. So I cut drywall on my table saw, and everyone's like, "You're not supposed to do that." I'm like, "It worked great." I love my table saw.
Yeah.
I do. I
love my husband has a table saw.
Does he? It's nice. It's really handy. And then this is a plant stand that I'm refinishing, but because the bark is falling off of the epoxy. So it's actually 4 tiers and it's on a base. It's super heavy, so it's in my garage right now because I can't get it. I'm not taking it in the basement. I can't do a lot of things by myself, and I don't want to put it on a dolly and ruin it. Because it'll mark it up, and I just have to pour more epoxy on it, and because I'm reattaching the bark falls off when you epoxy wood, so it's kind of risky to do. Oh, this is my steer head. Somebody garbage picked it and gave it to me.
Okay, so that's actually
a steer head.
A steer head.
Yeah, it was really messed up. The horns were falling off. Somebody had screws in it. So I painted it. I painted the cracks, and I painted the inside and out, and I shadowed it. It looks really impressive in real life. Everybody tells me
especially with that flower arrangement on it.
Yeah. Yeah. I wanted to get away from the Western idea of it, and some people say it looks Jamaican because it looks like it has dreadlocks. I don't know. I have different flowers. I was going to try and
they think it looks Jamaican?
Yeah, because it looks like those flowers that right here, that they look like dreadlocks. I guess. I don't think it looks Jamaican. I think maybe Native American a little bit.
Yeah.
But I put a boho symbol on it, and they're little bedazzled gems, and I did dotting. The dot artwork that people do.
Yeah.
I think it's neat. So I did dots on it, and I did a design like that. I forget what it's called. But yes, and I painted the horns. I cleaned it up. It was all cobweb everywhere, and it had a lot of holes in the head because there's a hole in his head where they put that thing to kill it.
Oh.
I painted it. It turned out nice.
Yeah.
It's neat looking. This is my table. So I have a box table. One of my friends came in and thought he'd put a hermit crab in for me. So I didn't take a top view picture of it. This is my coffee table. Okay, so it's got rocks and ocean in it, and it's just 2 different views of my coffee table that I made. It has a lot of sand in it. I think it's got 100 pounds of white sand in it, and it's heavy. It's a
The
very,
table is
yeah.
made out of
It's a glass shadow box, so you see the glass walls, and then it has 2 doors. And I bought the glass shadow box for like $100 on Amazon, and it's a coffee table. And then I filled it with the ocean. And I have like a puffer fish. You can see the puffer fish right there. He's above the sponge, the second sponge towards the middle. He's right above there. He's fully blown. It's really neat. I don't know how they did that, but when I saw that, I had to have it. But other stuff, everything in there is, almost everything is stuff I've found. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the puffer fish I bought.
Yeah, okay. So you don't wind up, is this something that has
It has a top. I just
top?
didn't take a picture of it from the top.
Uh-huh.
I should have taken a whole picture to show
Yeah,
the entire thing.
because I was going to say,
There's a couple
if you
angles.
didn't have a top over it, a lot of dust would accumulate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was planting plants on it, and I got dirt inside because there's cracks around the edges. So now I'm going to, it's a lot of work to take everything out and clean the sand. You have no idea. It's extensive. It takes days and days and days.
It
to try
would
and
be
get all that
it would
out.
be overwhelming.
Yeah, because everything in there is very fragile. My dog Carter used to crawl in when he was a puppy because I broke a door for a little while, so he'd get in the door and he ate all my crabs and stuff. He'd just chomp on the shells.
Oh.
So a lot of my crabs are in like their bodies separated from their arms or something, or they got crunched up and eaten by my puppy.
Oh.
It's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just made a coffee table, and it's just something else that I find stuff like sea glass rocks and stuff. I'm not too much of a beach person, so that's stuff like collected from like a long time, you know what I mean? And I think my lamp is going to be coming up next. Is that? Yes, there we go.
Okay.
So these are tree roots, and I hung them for my ceiling. I have another picture that I took the skull that I have hanging on it, because I love skulls, and I have skulls around my house, and like I have like a steampunk kind of like industrial like house. You can see the corrugated metal wall behind the house. I have black molding with white molding, and then I use J-hook sidings on my corrugated metal wall behind it. But these are tree roots, and they're epoxied, and they were very difficult. The pictures don't really do it justice, but honestly, the light I found on Temu, and it was not a lot of money. It was like $10 or $15, but it's got these real long strings, and I wrapped it around. It's actually holding up the tree roots. So the lamp is holding the tree roots. It's kind of, people don't get it, but by wrapping it around and like draping it, and then my neighbor gave me those beads around, like beads and that wire stuff, so I use it and I make it look like icicles. I decorated it like that for Christmas, but I liked how it looked like a chandelier. I get so many compliments on it. People say I could sell it for easily $1,000. It's really neat. I get lots of compliments on it. It was a lot of work though. It really was, especially since I did it twice, because I was rushing it, and the linseed oil, I didn't let it sit long enough, and then my epoxy was repelling from the wood because it was still oily, so it was dimpling. So I sanded it, and then I had to re-sand it again, get all the epoxy to get the dimples out, and then I had to redo it. So it was a lot of work. I would wake up at 7 in the morning, work on it till midnight, almost every day for weeks. So that was like a project in the winter, because craft shows aren't really during the winter. So I make stuff.
Not usually, unless except
Christmas
for
show.
some Christmas stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, there's very few. There's
Yeah.
very few. There's a few. Okay, cool. That's some of my house stuff.
Oh,
that I
did he
have.
say that
That's
was
all
the
the
end of the pictures?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So that's like some of the stuff that I make. I also use deer antlers. Deer antlers, I dropped because I was kind of rushing, and I carry too many things in my hands sometimes. And I used it like this, like with the picture stands. I put them on a rock base, and like cutting antlers is like no joke. It really is. No joke.
It's hard work.
Oh my goodness. It's like harder to cut than rocks.
Oh my gosh.
Because like diamond blades aren't meant for it, but they are really durable, and it's strange because rodent teeth can dig into them. That's how strong rodent teeth are.
Well, you know, a dentist one time told me that rodents' teeth keep growing their
Yes.
entire life.
Yeah, I have some beaver teeth that I got from the Hamburg Fairgrounds, and this guy was like, it was like a thrift store, kind of like he had weird stuff, and he gave them to me in trade for my phone number.
And he traded it for your phone number.
Yeah, but he wanted like $30 for each side. I
Oh,
think or maybe
really?
it was 15 for one side of the beaver jaw and the tooth. And it's really cool because the beaver teeth, they can come out. You can pull them out, and they're beautiful. They're like tie-dyed. They have like different colors on them, and you
Really?
pull them out, and they're real long. And if a beaver doesn't chew, his teeth will keep growing, and there's no way to grind down his teeth, and he'll die.
Yeah. I guess that's how it is with mice and like that too, that they have to keep wearing their teeth down.
Yeah. And that's why they'll die. I didn't know mice were like that.
Yeah,
But
that's what this one dentist told me one time was that
I never heard of the mice being like that. That's weird.
yeah.
It
So
must be their front
but
teeth.
you know, I had an interesting experience with a beaver one time. My husband and I, we had a few beehives for a long time,
Nice.
and
That's cool.
I think you would have enjoyed having them. But anyway, where was I going with this?
We were talking about what were we talking about?
Have you lost your train
I
of
just
thought?
did too. I
We
was like,
both
wait, I
did
was
it.
right
We
there.
both did it at
We were
the
talking
same
about
time.
deer antlers.
Yeah,
and
then
beaver teeth, mice teeth.
Oh, I know what it was.
Okay.
Okay, we had the beehives. That was it. Yeah, and I was down by a pond where there were some of those sumac bushes growing.
Oh, those are good.
You know, they're those things, the red things grow on them.
Sumac is really good for you.
And, but anyway, that's what we used to use in our smokers when we'd smoke the bees to get them to calm down so that we could
Really?
work in the hives. And
Is that what everybody uses? Is it specific? Is it like it has some
I
sort
don't
of
think so.
Just
I think,
anyone?
but they're the things that are the easiest to
Okay.
use. Okay, but anyway, so anyways, we would get those. I would wait till like the end of March to pick them because it seemed like if you got them in the fall, they didn't dry out over the winter.
they die every year?
No, I mean the red things would.
Okay.
They wouldn't dry out. So somehow it seemed like they would burn better if
Yeah.
I'd wait until the end of March to pick them. So, anyways, I kept while I was picking them. This one day, I kept hearing. I kept hearing what sounded like somebody jumping into the water, and I didn't see how it could be because the water would be so cold, ice cold at
Yeah.
that time of the year, you know. And so, anyways,
Is it a lake pond or? Is
it was a
creek?
pond.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, when I got through getting what I needed of the sumac bobs, I went and decided I'd look and see what the heck was going on, you know. It was a beaver. It would swim back and forth near where I was, and then all of a sudden it would slap the water with its tail
Oh my
and
goodness.
dive under. And that's what that
Slapping.
noise I was hearing that I thought it sounded like somebody jumping into the water. It was a beaver, and I was mentioning that to somebody one time, and the person I was mentioning it to said it probably had some of its young in dens or something along the edge of the pond, and it was warning them to stay It would warn them to
Really?
stay hidden.
Because he saw you.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, because I
too.
was like, why was he smacking his tail?
Yeah, he'd smack his tail and then go under the water, and then she'd come back up and swim back and forth a little bit again.
Guarding the fort.
I think she was waiting for me to leave the area.
Probably, yeah.
So
That's
that was really interesting.
Yeah, I've never seen a beaver like that. I'm kind of
that
jealous.
was really
That'd be cool.
really interesting.
You should have took some pictures or a video.
I didn't have anything with me to take a picture.
Oh, probably a different day, right?
It's like one time when I was picking some blueberries off a blueberry bush in our yard. There were that particular summer, there was a couple of female deer that had like sets of twins. And one day when I was picking blueberries, a set of the twins, all of a sudden I realized they're standing there watching me pick berries.
They weren't afraid of you?
Well, I guess they hadn't reached an age yet where their mothers had convinced them that it wasn't safe to be around humans. But anyways, it would have made such a cute picture. But where was my phone? In the house, not out with me.
Because you're picking blueberries. You're not going to be talking on the phone or texting. I get it.
Yeah, so
I'm bad with my phone too. I never have it. I'm like always like, where's my phone?
Whenever there's a good picture to be taken.
Yeah, or I don't think of it. I'm not fast enough to be like, oh, I should get a picture of this. You know what I mean?
And it was like, while they're standing there watching me, I'm not going to go past them to go in the house to get it.
No, they'll be
because
gone.
then I would spook them and they'd take off.
Yeah,
so
that's usually my problem too. If I do think to take a picture, by the time I get the camera out, open up my phone, and do everything, it's over. Been over for a minute now.
I found that it's almost impossible to get a good picture of a deer somehow.
You'd get a salt lick.
A salt lick?
Yeah.
So that they'd be...
so they're standing there licking the salt for a long period of time, and they get comfortable in your backyard, but then they'll eat your plants, eat your blueberries.
Yeah, but then it seems like you can't get close enough to them.
Yeah.
To get that picture, because if you try to get too close...
Yeah, or the zoom isn't as clear. But you need one of those fancy cameras.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
like
yeah.
what Gojo would use. I bet you the deer were waiting for you to leave because they wanted your blueberries.
It could be.
They were like being patient and waiting their turn.
Yeah,
That's nice of them. But no, I used the deer antlers. I actually made and sold some of these. And I used them as ring holders.
Yeah.
One girl bought one of the ring holders because her friend was having a wedding, and it was like all like this kind of stuff, and that's how they were decorating the tables with like deer antlers and stuff. So she bought her one of my ring holders that was deer antlers. Somebody else bought one.
Well,
for
that would make
their
a
cabin.
good gift too.
Yeah, it's unique. Especially if somebody has like a cabin that they go to that is rustic, like style. I also was thinking about making them with displays because I have one thing and I hang my bracelets on it. You know what I mean, as a display. But I couldn't find it. Everything is still packed up. It's like stuff is packed up. And not been unpacked. So I was like ripping things apart, and I was like, I don't know what I did.
So you
with
think
some
you're
of my
probably
displays.
not going to be able to do any shows this year? Then?
I'm going to be moving to Tennessee soon, so I'm going to have garage sale. I'm getting ready for a giant garage sale, estate sale.
Okay.
And then I have to finish the kitchen, and then I'm going to start packing. So, and then move.
It's going to be really soon then.
Hopefully, I would like, my goal is before winter.
Oh, yeah.
If not, I'm not putting the house up for sale over winter because it will sit. People don't want to move during winter, and I'll sell it in the spring. But I'm going to start going down there and looking for a place, and you know what I mean? So I'll be down in Tennessee because my mom needs help. She's like 76, And without my dad around, like, I go down there and I like work the whole time because, you know, she's just a little 4'10", 11. She keeps shrinking.
Is she that short?
She's a little lady, you know. And like my dad did the weed whacking, and she's learning how to do lawnmowers and stuff. But we had she had all this topsoil dumped, and the weeds were real high, and I spread it all over their yard. And thank goodness she had a neighbor that had like a small tractor, because she ripped it up and I raked the weeds out, because some of those weeds were super high and they were prickers.
Oh, yeah.
And I raked them out, and then she dumped little piles of dirt all over the property for me, so I didn't have to bucket it around, because I was shoveling and bucketing. And then I should have tampered it down like I do at my house, like when I'm filling in parts of the yard. So I've worked outside a lot recently. There's 2 minutes left. So do you have to wrap up?
Okay.
Do you have to wrap up? Do you have a little thing that you do?
Shortly, yes. It really has been so nice to see you again.
You too. It's so nice that you stay in contact. I think it's so sweet.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm gonna miss having opportunities to see you from time to time.
I'm always evolving.
Yeah, you are, aren't you?
Yes.
Reinventing yourself. And,
yeah,
and
I
everything.
have to.
So anyways,
thank you for having me on again. It was fun.
well, thank you for being on again. It was fun. It's always fun visiting with you.
We have a minute left. I can talk about driftwood if people like driftwood.
Okay.
I forgot about this, and I use dried flowers for this as well, and then some fake vine stuff. But it got messed up on the cart. It had more rocks on it, and they fell off because they weren't glued on well. But they're decorative pieces for around the house, you know.
This looks like Larimar too. For those of you who have never heard of Larimar. They think that there was, when Edgar Cayce was alive, still in the first half of the 20th century, do you know who he was?
No, I'm not.
I'll tell you in a minute.
Cool.
He was the greatest psychic of the 20th century.
Neat.
And he said there was a healing blue stone that was going to be found in the later part of the 20th century. It would be found in the Caribbean.
And that's Larimar.
They think it's that because that's the one that's been found.
Yeah, in the Caribbean.
Yeah, and it's such a robin's egg blue color.
It's pretty, yes.
It really is gorgeous.
I love that you know your stone.
Yeah.
That's why we connected.
Yeah, I think so.
Like your hemp and your macrame.
My macrame,
and that's what I do.
Yes. So, we've come to the end of another episode of Fresh Perspectives, and I will see those of you in the viewing audience when I do the next episode.